for, and the D.C. corruptocrats, they usually win. But let's look at the good side tonight. The swamp creatures, they always scatter and scream when they're under a spotlight. May not actually win this time. It may not be able to ram through the usual last-minute bloated Yuletide spenderoo, even after all the messiness of today. But I think the swamp has to have forgotten along the way that Donald Trump and Doge, his crew, could actually read the bill. They were betting on everyone just wanting to rush to the doors for Christmas. But what happened was social media, as Elon Musk noted tonight, social media was used for its best purpose, to reveal the truth to the American people. In this case, the horrors that Chip Roy was talking about within that bill. It was teeming with non-essential junk. We talked about it last night. But of course, the Democrats, when this was all unraveling, they didn't respond by defending the bill itself because it's indefensible. All they could do is find a new villain.
Welcome to the Elon Musk presidency. Clearly what Elon Musk wants, Elon Musk is going to get.
For President Musk to come in at the last moment and blow up the deal is just intolerable.
A non-elected billionaire, Elon Musk, has weighed in now and has put forth a message on Twitter from his phone that it's okay to shut the government down and to disregard the bipartisan deal. The public is not going to tolerate that.
Well, of course, none of that holds at all. And I'll say this, when you're going after one private citizen, even if it's Musk with all of his money, for exercising his First Amendment rights, you have no argument. And any attempt to pit Musk against Trump is just stupid. It's goofy. The truth is the Democrats have lost control of this narrative and the purse strings. And when you've lost that, you've lost everything. Their old playbook of intimidating Republicans to blow billions on wasteful projects, it hasn't worked, despite their best attempts today.
Look at the disabled community, right? Like, I think people with disabilities have, and activists within that space have consistently been saying, like, I'm never.
Well, obviously, what we're talking about fat cat spending. We're not talking about that, but that's how they mix that up. Well, those lines of attack, though, are no longer potent. When Americans are kept in the loop on the dirty details of legislation, or what they claim to be the best thing for the American public. We saw it also happen during COVID. What eventually happens, and sometimes now faster than everyone would like, but the American people start ignoring the liberal spin, and then they reject the shakedown. That is awesome. Now, viewers of The Angle were familiar with this con, even from establishment Republicans when they tried to pull it. Remember, they went after us at The Angle and Donald Trump after that for targeting that disastrous bipartisan infrastructure bill. It was supported by the likes of Republican Senator from Louisiana, Bill Cassidy, a total disaster. And then remember the horrid Lankford-Schumer immigration bill that we fought against? Well, the establishment, they've always feared the dissemination of the truth. And Trump, they hate him because he's an outspoken leader. He's a truth teller and a truth seeker. Had he not spoken out against the spending bill last night, and Elon Musk and Vance and Vivek not revealed what was in that bill for just regular people who don't have time to focus on this, it would have surely been, I think, charged to the tab of the taxpayer right now. It would already be a done deal. So that in itself is a victory. So this process is ugly. It's very ugly. You heard Chad describing it early on. Spending is not supposed to happen this way. Congress is supposed to pass 12 discrete spending bills. Not this nonsense. But what does this episode show us? Well, it shows us that this is the way they like it, because then there's no transparency. They don't want any transparency. They like it this way. At least most of them do. But it also shows us that from sanctuary cities to Fulton County to more on Fani Willis I'll talk about later in the show, the frauds who've been running the country and running its institutions, they're on their heels now. And it's all because of Donald Trump. Without Trump at the helm, and he'll be at the helm in just a month or so, they get away with all of this. They get away with Fani Willis is a great patriot. She's doing a great job. The charges against Trump are serious. You know, they get away with the border is secure. They get away with saying that sanctuary cities are just and fair. They get away with saying we have to pass this bill even if we don't know what's in it. They get away with all of that because of no transparency. But Donald Trump says, no, no, no. It's time to save the country. And you save it first with an educated electorate. And that's forceful. That's powerful to do that. That is the way to turn things around. That is a recipe for success. From the border to restoring trust in the courts to restoring the proper legislative process, we got to do it. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, and that's the angle.
All right, folks, let's dive into tonight's episode of Swamp Things, starring those lovable DC corruptocrats. Usually these swamp creatures with their slick smiles and even slicker deals manage to pull off their last-minute bloated spending sprees. They're like clockwork, aren't they? You can always count on them to screw over the American people while lining their own pockets. But tonight, something beautiful happened. Those swamp creatures, used to slithering through the dark corners of the Capitol, suddenly found themselves under a spotlight and scattered faster than cockroaches when the lights come on. And bless their hearts, for once, it seems like they might actually lose. They thought they could just ram through their typical bloated last-minute spending bill, figuring everyone was too busy rushing to the Christmas doorbusters to notice. But they forgot one crucial thing. They underestimated Donald J. Trump and his incredible team, those geniuses, are actually capable of reading the bill. Can you imagine? Actual scrutiny of a Democrat bill? Unheard of. They were betting that the public would be too distracted with the holidays to care. But social media, bless the internet, actually served a good purpose for once. And as Elon Musk so eloquently pointed out, it was used to reveal the truth to the American people, the horrors that good old Chip Roy was talking about. And, let's be real, that bill was a dumpster fire filled with non-essential garbage and favors for all their cronies. And what did the Democrats do when their little schemes started to unravel? They didn't dare defend the bill. It's indefensible. Instead, they went straight to what they know best, finding a new villain. And who's their new boogeyman? Elon Musk. They've declared, "Welcome to the Elon Musk presidency. Oh, please give me a break." They act like this non-elected billionaire has the audacity to weigh in and suggest shutting down the government. They're crying like babies and pretending that the public is outraged. But we all know that their outrage is not about the public, it's about losing their meal ticket. And the media? Oh, the media. They're trying to create a rivalry between Trump and Musk. Ridiculous. Any attempt to pit Musk against Trump is just stupid. It's goofy. These people are so desperate. The truth is, the Democrats have lost control of the narrative and the purse strings, and when you lose those, you lose everything. They're using their old playbook of trying to intimidate Republicans into wasting billions on useless projects, but their tricks aren't working anymore. Thank goodness. The public isn't as stupid as they think they are. Look at how they try to twist the story, even dragging in the disabled community and pretending that we don't care about their needs. It's classic. They're deliberately trying to conflate fat cat spending with support for the vulnerable. It's a sad, pathetic, and transparent trick. Their lines of attack just aren't working when the American people are actually informed about what's in their sneaky bills. We saw it happen with the COVID nonsense, and we're seeing it again now. People are finally starting to ignore the liberal spin and reject their shakedowns. It's absolutely beautiful. We, the viewers of The Angle, are already familiar with these cons. We saw it when those establishment Republicans went after us for exposing that awful bipartisan infrastructure bill supported by Bill Cassidy, a total disaster, just like the rest of them. Remember also that horrid Langford-Schumer immigration bill? Another disaster that we fought against. The swamp always fears the dissemination of truth. Trump, they hate him because he's an outspoken leader. He's a truth teller and a truth seeker. He and Elon Musk and others like Vance and Vake, had they not exposed what was hidden in that bill, the American taxpayers would have already been saddled with another huge financial burden. But thankfully, the public knows the truth now, and it's a beautiful thing to witness. This whole process is, of course, ugly. Congress is supposed to pass 12 separate spending bills, not this last-minute secretive nonsense, but they like it this way. They don't want any transparency. They like being able to hide all their crony deals. But what does this whole mess tell us? That the frauds are finally on their heels thanks to Donald J. Trump. Without Trump at the helm, those Democrats would get away with everything. They'd get away with calling Fani Willis a great patriot. They'd say the border is secure. They'd continue to call sanctuary cities fair and just. They'd tell us we have to pass bills that they don't even know what is in them. But Donald Trump says, enough. He understands the need for an educated electorate, and he's doing what it takes to get things on track. He's putting them under the spotlight, exposing them for the frauds they are. That's how we turn things around. Sunlight, as they say, is the best disinfectant. And that's exactly what Trump and the Angle are doing for the American people.